Mention the Vottovaara Mountain, and most will frown and not have a clue what you're talking about. Mention it in Russia, Finland, or Sweden, however, and their eyes will widen, and they will probably turn and run screaming. Located in the Republic of Karelia, once Finnish but now Russian, it is a place steeped in folklore, mystery, and complete bewilderment. It defies the rules of nature and repels against any logic. This is Vottovaara, possibly the craziest place on earth. Vottovaara Mountain, sometimes known by the locals as Death Mountain, near the villages of Gimaloy and Sukazero, is a ridge well known for its mysterious and eerie atmosphere, along with crazy happenings. It's not a big mountain by any means. Its height is only 417 meters above sea level, just under 1400 feet, but its standing, its respect, is a lot higher. Steeped in local legend and natural oddities, the area has gained a reputation for being an amazing place. It seems to defy normality in several ways, with reports of strange phenomena and unsettling features. Its granite rock formations, around 1600 in total, tell stories of a times gone by, times where the people of the area knew things, things we don't. Some odd shaped large rocks sit precariously on tiny stones, dismissing the laws of gravity, and have done for centuries, and still to this day refusing to topple. They call them saids, which means hanging or flying stones. Locals even tell stories of huge levitating boulders held up by nothing. The ridge itself is also crossed by deep, straight cracks. The surface of the stone in the cracks is so smooth that it seems polished or cut by machinery. It seems that someone, like at a construction site perhaps, put huge slabs next to each other, leaving only a small gap between them, so that it would be more convenient to lift them later with a crane, maybe. Walk deeper into its mysterious land, and you will find large stone spheres, massive balls of granite that appear to have been shaped intentionally and once again polished and unblemished. And even deeper still, you will stumble across a sight that is hard to believe: a large well. Not any well, not a type of circular well conjured up in your mind with a rigged rope and a pail, but a deep square well with its walls carved from massive granite blocks. It's a sight to behold. How in God's name did anyone back then carve and move these ginormous blocks of granite into place to create this well? Construction machinery of today would struggle. As for its waters, they are deep, and no one has amassed enough courage to find out where its waters lead or come from. It isn't stagnant, so the waters lead or come from somewhere, but no one knows, and no one is willing to dive in and find out. Add to this the fact that scattered across the area seems to be purposely shaped sculptures. Some look like ancient sculptures, while others seem to be strangely placed, almost like they are part of an ancient altar or sacred space, similar to the paganistic Stonehenge in southwest England. Not as big or mapped out, but eerily similar. The formations have sparked local legends, with people speculating about their origins. Some believe they were created by an ancient civilization who once thrived in the Vottovaara Mountains. The local children are taught of a mystical beast, a kind of cross between a Bigfoot and an extraterrestrial that once lived there, and these huge stone anomalies were their workings. The children are also taught that the land was habited by large beings, large humanoid beings. We call them giants or Nephilim. Local folklore tells of a massive flood which engulfed the area. Yet another flood in another culture happened everywhere by the sounds of things, and the native giants that lived and worked in this area suffered. They say the giants were evil and came from fallen gods. When the flood hit, they allegedly ran into the earth, into a huge cave system, and the eerie figures or manifestations spotted in the area nowadays are those of these giants roaming the land to this day. Local shaman will tell you that the boulders placed on the tiny rocks was placed by them, telling folk to beware as they are still around. And who's to argue with that? Nearby is a set of 13 steps cleverly carved into a sloped clearing, obvious signs of some kind of culture, some kind of intelligence. But hold on a minute. That's not what happened, according to the scientists, according to the archaeologists. Oh no, nothing like that at all. They say that these huge rocks that sit hesitantly on the small pebble sized stones and the sphere shaped boulders that resemble the Atlas stones in the world's strongest man tournament, and the huge well, and the carved steps are all works of an ancient glacier that passed through the area millions of years ago, leaving all this in its wake. Or some scientists tell you that it was formed by a massive earthquake 9,000 years ago, so big that it wiped out the area. Come on, make up your mind. So a massive chunk of ice from the Ice Age meandered through the mountain pass and left behind all these weird structures, or the earthquake lifted them up and threw them back down again onto little pebble-sized rocks. If that is true, then our world is a lot stranger than we think. Or, of course, this is just another way of covering our real history. Okay, let's go with their take for a bit. But how can that explain the trees of this area? The forest surrounding Vottovaara Mountain is filled with trees that grow at odd angles or appear to be twisted in unnatural ways. The trees somehow, after a couple of years' growth, twist towards the ground, like hitting some kind of invisible barrier or force field. Some trees seem to grow upside down or with their roots sticking out of the ground also, further enhancing the eerie vibe of the place. This phenomena could be attributed to the rocky terrain and harsh weather, but the resulting landscape is nonetheless strange and unsettling and doesn't fit with the glacier or earthquake narrative for sure. The trees look like they at some stage stop growing and decide to carry on growing down, twisting and deforming in the process. Very weird. Could they hit some kind of Earth's magnetic field and suddenly change direction? There have been definite reports of unusual magnetic fields in the area. Folk visiting the area have experienced issues with their compass not functioning properly, spinning out of control, or sometimes giving false readings, while others claim to have had their electronic devices behave unpredictably or turn off altogether. A couple also reported having a time shift, missing several hours of their lives as they hiked across the land. This has led some to suggest that Vottovaara could be a place of paranormal activity, possibly tied to a disruption in the Earth's magnetic field. Others in the know suggest that this area is the Earth's true North Pole, where the Earth's magnetic field is at its beginning and end, creating a larger than normal magnetic energy, the middle of a torus perhaps. Could this be the reason for strange lights seen in the area? Lights similar to the aurora borealis? This had led locals to believe that Vottovaara is a sacred and possibly cursed place. Some legends speak of spirits inhabiting the mountain, still haunting its wilderness after being wiped out by other tribes or some kind of flood. Others warn that disturbing the area could lead to bad luck or misfortune or worse, death. Hence the reason why most locals won't visit the area or even talk about it in detail. These local people are Sami, an old Finnish community or clan. They call this region Mount of the Gods, and the surrounding landscape is said to have been a place for ancient rituals, and maybe still are. I mentioned reports of strange lights appearing in the skies around Vottovaara. Some people believe these are manifestations of supernatural activity or the orbs of a civilization long gone, while others think they are caused by atmospheric or geological phenomena, warning folk to stay away. Similarly, there are stories of unexplained sounds, like distant voices or strange unexplained noises that seem to echo through the mountain's eerie silence. This is strange and probably the reason why there is very little, if any at all, wildlife in this area. No birds, no little rodents, no fish in its waters, and very little foliage around the twisted, deformed trees. The region's remoteness definitely adds to its aura of mystery. It's not an easily accessible location. There are no roads leading in or out. If you want to get there, prepare to trek, which only adds to the sense of the unknown. Few venture into this part of Karelia, and the isolation contributes to the folklore that surrounds the mountain. People are scared to go there, and rightfully so. And if you decide it's a place for you, prepare to be put in your place. prepare for your bravery to be tested. It's not a place for the faint-hearted. Whether one attributes these occurrences to natural forces or something more mystical, the Vottovaara Mountain region continues to be a place that intrigues and mystifies anyone who hears about it. When the locals speak of these so-called giants, or they mention the area being a haven for UFOs and aliens, people tend to scoff and look down on them. Yet these people know this land like the back of their hand. When a scientist or an archaeologist throw out a theory of a million-year-old glacier, folk believe them. It's crazy. All reasons for this strange place have credence, yet the local theory is always way down in the charts. Did giants roam Vottovaara and shape its land with huge boulders on top of small pebbles? Have extraterrestrials left signs of their visit? Did an advanced civilization live here and knew things back then that we can only dream of knowing now? Or are the glacier guessing scientists and the authors of our ancient history spot on? You be the judge. Thanks for watching again. A weird place, huh? If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to click the like button. It helps promote the video to others. Have you, or do you know anyone who has dared to venture into this incredible place? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what your thoughts are about the place, or if there is a mysterious place on Earth that you'd like me to cover. Anyhow, thanks again, and always remember, if a scientist or archaeologist tells you something, listen carefully, because they might just give away the real reasons without them knowing. See you in the next video. Bye for now.